Hi, it's Theo and thank you for joining me. And today we're looking at the best decks to climb to Legend after the big patch we just had with the 29 balance changes. Now obviously they tried to make quests a bit better and it didn't quite work out, although this list will have more quests than last time. As always, the deck codes will be in the description for you to copy. Now let's get started with the very first deck, and that is Beast Hunter, because it is a beast of a deck and also it's running a couple of beasts. And yeah, just a really good aggro deck. I already had this on the list last week. And yeah, it's kind of a sleeper, but now with every other deck almost getting nerfed, this deck got quite a lot better. And yeah, just a very strong aggro deck where you can just continue filling the board every turn with the budget early game stuff. You got the Ball of Spider, Shepherd's Crook actually. I mean, all these cards, right? The RC Rampage is kind of insane. Like, all these cards have really easy time to fill the board. And then if your opponent ever leaves up stuff, then you can buff it with either the Supreme Dynamancy or the City Chief Asho, and both of them, yeah, kind of just do the same thing, right? And yeah, that's a lot of stats you get, because every small minion now becomes kind of a decent-sized minion, right? The Scarab, not much by a 1-1, but yeah, if it gets buffed to a 3-3, even a 5-5, yeah, it's pretty scary all of a sudden. So yeah, really strong aggro deck if you're looking to climb. Then we have the Aggro Demon Hunter, which was on top last time. And yeah, it got hit by 2 nerfs. Right, first of all, the Bulk now only deals 2, but looks like it's still playable in this deck, so you still want to be running that. And then Slither Spear got nerfed by half, but yeah, this card is still extremely scary. Doubling up on attack is really good, and with many ways to do that, yeah, it's pretty strong as a 1-drop, and there's just no better 1-drop. And besides that, yeah, the deck just kind of has stayed the same, not much else to say about it, just play aggressive, go face, and then yeah, you have a lot of damage from hand to finish the game. Then we have kind of a new deck, although I did have it last time on the list, but it wasn't quite as good before the patch. But yeah, the patch made this deck a lot better, or well, it made other decks worse, so this got a lot better. And yeah, this is all about scamming with that Dorian, Puppet Master Dorian, right? You can make 1-mana minions, especially with Cursed Catacombs, it's pretty easy. And then you want to hit that Agamagon, and then yeah, you can play 2 Agamagons, a big minion, and just win the game as early as turn 5 with the coin, or even earlier if you have the Fractured Power, which is like a Wild Growth, but yeah, delayed by a turn. And then if you didn't get the cheat out the Gamagon early, you also have a lot of damage from cards like Firewreck, Shaladrosil, or even Kerrigan in this deck. And another one of the big winners of this patch is this Protoss Priest. Again, nothing got nerfed in his list, and everything else got nerfed, so this just got a lot better. So you've probably been seeing this a lot on ladder, and it's just a really good deck. I mean, it's just like the old Protoss Priest. You got the Protoss cards, right? The Sentry especially is important. And then now with Resuscitate, since the expansion, yeah, this card is insane. You have so many good minions to get back. I mean, you've got 1-drop Catcher today, so it's like 6 damage rush if you need. 2-drops Sentry, I mean, more mana cheat was not to like. And then 3-drops, I mean, Vol'jin, you don't really want, but you can get Void Ray, which is great, obviously, to get back. Especially with Reborn, you get Divine Shield back, and then also the Zealot. It's also 3 mana, so you get a Charger, possibly twice. So yeah, that card is amazing. And then late game, like the Mothership sometimes goes down to almost a 0 with all the res cards you have. And then yeah, off that Mothership, you can obviously win with those cards you get, like Carrier or the Colossus. And then we have a deck that pretty much always makes it to this list again. Handbuff Hunter, really strong. I don't like the deck, but yeah, it continues to win games. And yeah, it's pretty much the same as before. So I kind of have to put it here because it's so good. But nothing has really changed to this deck since the patch. Then kind of a new deck we have here, although it's existed before, but we didn't really see it last patch, is the Mech Warrior. And obviously, yeah, this deck is all about the testing dummy and getting it displayed or getting it killed multiple times. And yeah, you have a lot of ways to do it. Now, of course, we have Elise as well, so you can copy that, or the Cubicle that then eats the testing dummy. That's pretty strong. And obviously, we have the Boom Wrench to proc it multiple times, the Reckon and Deckham, Boom to res it, and then we also have the Umbra to potentially get it 5 times back. And then yeah, 7 mana, deal 40 random damage. It's usually pretty good, and that often wins the game. Then another priest deck we have is the Wilted Priest, and yeah, this one obviously it got nerfed with a Wilted Shadow, so it's a bit slower. No longer can you just win with 6 bandages and Wilted Shadow at 7. So now I think you need 8, and yeah, if you have it buffed with Birdwatching, you need 5, I believe, which is 1 more than 4, which it used to be before the patch. So yeah, it slowed down a bit, but it's still very strong, right? It still can win pretty fast, and it's just really good at surviving as well. With the Sleepy Resin, of course, just buys you turn against any deck. We've got the 1-drops, the Noitron that gets rest, Careless Crafter gets rest. Resuscitate, again, just a really, really strong card in this deck. Just in any priest deck, really. It's just so strong. Then here we have the Ownlonius Druid. And yeah, this is the old build again with low getting nerfed. Yeah, we'll just go back to the old build because, yeah, it worked pretty well. Just low was a little bit better. And yeah, just like before, right? You want to draw fast. We got the Ethereal, which the art is still bugged. We got the Oaken Summons to summon Ethereal. I mean, Amino still nuts. I don't know why this didn't get nerfed. And obviously later in the game, yeah, you play Ownlonius and then you win with all the spells you got. And then we have the Armor Demon Hunter, and this is just yet another deck I really dislike. But again, it yeah, continues to win games, so I kind of have to put it here. And yeah, not much has changed from before, right? You want to play Arcanite, then res it, and then try and multiply it with like a cubicle or get it back with return policy, and then build a massive starship. And sometimes you can away with the Exodar dealing damage, or now with the new tech of the Dissolving Ooze, you can actually on turn 10 Exodar for armor, stay alive, then eat the minion, and then yeah, OTK the opponent with the Kane Sun Fury with that massive buff. Then we have everybody's favorite quest, the quest Paladin, and yeah, I mean, not much has changed here really. The nerfs have hit the deck, but yeah, the cards, yeah, that got nerfed, the Brain Guild, the Hot Spring Glider. Yeah, you still want to play them, they're worse, but yeah, there's not that many other Murlocs that you really want to be playing, so yeah, still a solid deck, just a little bit worse than before. And the Rogue deck we have here is the Protoss Rogue, and yeah, obviously this deck is all about the Templars. Get those Archons with these, and you have multiple ways to duplicate them. And we also have added the Elise to, well, get that copy. For the Archons, have even more damage, which also makes us play the Ziliax. This is a Ziliax you don't often see, but yeah, it's a 7 mana card, which you needed for the Elise to make that work. And you just try and get those Templars down to 1 mana in any way you can. And then copy them with Sonya, and then yeah, usually the game is over once you get a couple of copies. And then we have probably the cheapest deck on the list. It's only running 1 Legendaries Elemental Mage to Zephrys, and you could probably cut it and replace it with another Smoldering Grove. It's still got that good early game and just pushes a lot of damage with the deck, right? So many ways to deal damage. I mean, you got Solar Flare, the new Page Turner, Trickster, Lamplighter, Fireball, then Zeph, the Spontaneous Combustion, and even more here with these 3. Like, there's so much damage in this deck, and then with all the elementals you can get on board early to push some damage. You can have constant pressure during a game, push that chip damage, and then yeah, finish them off with all those damage cards I just mentioned. And Starship Death Knight is still on the list. That got hit by nerfs to the Guiding Figure, and the Brittlebone Buccaneer, which is what we don't play anymore. But now we're playing the triple blood build of Starship, just a bit more survival and less proactive. We also have the Demolition Renovator, and I'm not the biggest fan of it, but yeah, a lot of decks are running a Elise, and then there's always Druid with a Mirror Soul, so there's a bunch of good targets, but yeah, not the biggest fan of it though. And yeah, the rest of the deck, it's like the old blood, right? You got the Poison Breath, Pulp Pyro combo, Corpse Explosion, I mean the Ceaseless, lots of clears, kill Jaden if your Starship doesn't win, and we have Heron just because, yeah, you need 1 more card to make that Elise work, so yeah, we just play Heron, the least bad 8-drop basically. And then we're getting to the other quest decks, and yeah, this one is the Warrior quest, and in this list is a little bit different than the list we saw before the patch, because yeah, there's no longer a Hydration Station in it. I think it's still fine to run Hydration Station, but this list is a little bit different, so I wanted to highlight this one. And it just had slightly better stats. And without Hydration Station, you're running the double Ziliax, which is slightly better by itself, of course. We're not running Tortle anymore, Chemical Spill, so yeah, that won't be stuck in your head. Same with the Hydration Station, but instead we're running cards like the Blob of Tar, just very, very annoying to get past, I'm sure you know it. And the new Shell Nado, so you can actually deal with like, you know, the Protoss Priest, the Reborn stuff, which otherwise is very annoying. For a warrior, this deals perfectly with that. And we got the Sleepy Resident, just try and stay alive, right? This can often buy a turn against decks that play for board. And yeah, you still have the quest, right? So you still have that late game win con with Galvadon into Time Warp. And one of the quests that got a lot better, from like a 30% win rate to even like 50%, is this quest Warlock, and yeah, it's slightly different from before, but the idea is still the same, right? You just run a very low curve to get that quest out fast, running the Clumsy Steward, because yeah, those temporary cards are actually good for you, and the temporary cards can be very annoying for the opponent if they draw a high cost card early on. Then we have the Horizon's Edge from Death Knight, as well as the Corpsicle, just so we have some damage in the late game and aren't just relying on the Underfell card, because yeah, it doesn't quite win by itself, it still needs a bit of support. So that's why we have those cards in here. And the 4th quest deck we have here is the Spell Quest Mage. I have a video of this deck right now on the channel if you're interested in checking that out. But yeah, this deck also got better again just because other decks got nerfed. And this deck just tries to survive in the early game to the mid game. So you get the Forbidden Sequence completed. And yeah, how you do that is just with all the spell mage cards, right? Like Malfunction is great to clear stuff early on, Spot the Difference is great pressure and completes the quest. And then we got a bunch of mana cheating here. Basically, the old Skull of Gul'dan here with Manufacturing Error. And in the late game, you got some crazy random with Relic of Kings, York in the Box, and then you can repeat that with the Galactic Projection Orb. And then the only class that was missing from this list was the Shaman. And yeah, it looks like actually this is a playable deck. Looking at the stats, it's got the old Nebula cards here, right? Like in the Murmur Shaman, a lot of them, but yeah, it's not Murmur Shaman, that card is dead, so now we're playing like a more fair list, right? You actually have to pay mana for cards, kind of what should be in a game like Hearthstone. And it's also got a few other cards, like the Growfin, the Bumbling Bell, like these are great cards to get off the Flight of the Firehawk, the new draw card from the Lost City of Ungoro, and the Getting Those buffed is obviously great, plus we have the Turbulus, so these also get a lot better with that. And then late game, yeah, you got the Shadow Block Insidious combo to win. The Nebula, of course, by itself can still win if you get especially the Splitting Space Rock and yeah, just Ziliax Ceaseless to stay alive. And those are the best decks to climb to Legend. Yeah, a lot of old decks, but yeah, with the balance changes, also a few new decks popped up. Let me know in the comments what you've been playing, what has worked for you. If the video was helpful, make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and until next time.